how are we? Welcome to my YouTube channel, Live a Little, Love a Lot. My name is Aditi Gupta and here we are today to bring to you another story for the month of September, and the title of the story is Sunday's Special. Don't forget to grab a nice cuppa, get cozy. I'm going to start reading. Okay. Ramesh Nair always cooked for two. Even now, after 2 years after Radha was gone, his hands instinctively reached for the second spoon, the extra pinch of salt, the second bowl. On Sundays, he always made her favorite Rajma Chawal. She used to say it tasted best on Sundays, although she never ever explained why. Maybe it was just routine. Ramesh had come to realize that routine was a quiet kind of prayer, repeated motions to keep loneliness at bay. He heard the noises again across the hall. Muffled arguing, child crying, the sound of something falling. The new tenants. He hadn't introduced himself. He didn't even know their names. But every single day, their door would open with a tired sigh and close with a thud that sounded heavier than it needed to be. This had been going on for about more than a week. Ramesh looked inside the cooker, and as usual, he had made too much. He paused, staring at the Rajma blend. It was blended in onion and tomato paste. It smells good, just like Radha would have liked it. But this would last till day after. Maybe, should I? He reached for the ladle, an empty takeout container, and filled it with Rajma. In another container, he filled a portion of steamed rice, plus a little extra, just in case. He placed the two containers in a paper bag. Ramesh quietly opened the front door, stepped out into the hallway. There was silence. He slowly walked across, overthrew the door opposite his, bent down, and placed the paper bag by the door. There was no note, no sound. He rang the doorbell and scurried back all the way back to his apartment. Seconds later, Ramesh's neighbor's door sprang open. Anish was sure that he heard the doorbell, although he could not see anyone standing in front of his door. His daughter Zoya stood behind her father. "Who is it, Papa?" She looked up at her father, her dark black eyes filled with curiosity. "I don't know," her father replied, "but I'm sure I did hear the doorbell ring. Oh, are my ears ringing?" "Papa, look down there, look!" She tugged her father's sleeves, pointing at the paper bag. Anish and Zoya exchanged looks, gazing each other, unsure, confused. "That's odd," Anish said, picking up the bag. He scrutinized the hallway. There was not a soul in sight. "We didn't order." "That's odd," Anish said. "Where did the food come from? We didn't order any food." "Maybe the food fairy came," Zoya added. She grinned widely, her gap-toothed smile radiating excitement. It's still hot." He picked up the bag, closing the door, heading inside. Zoya picked up her scooter, zoomed by, almost tripping her father on the way. "How many times have I told you not to ride the scooter inside the house?" Zoya halted at the table, looking over her shoulder at her father. Her head hung low, but she didn't utter a word. Anish carefully took out the containers from the bag. "This smells so good," Zoya smiled. "Open it, Papa, open it. I want to see what's inside." And there it was, warm, aromatic, authentic, sitting on the dining table. Feeling concerned, Anish stared at the container. He was too tired to be suspicious, too hungry to ask any questions. And inside, the rice was fluffy. The Rajma lentils were cooked to perfection and the spices were just right. Zoya took a bite and made a face of deep, dramatic appreciation. "Papa, why don't you cook like this for me every day?" Anish smiled for the first time all week. "I'll try," he said, knowing he couldn't. The following Sunday, it happened again. It was the same as the previous Sunday, Rajma Chawal. But this time, there was a note. "I hope you don't mind. I thought you could use a warm meal. -402. Anish and his daughter lived in 403. He quickly scribbled a note. on the back of a receipt, added a bag of namkeen, a packet of biscuits. Zoya insisted on saving her for herself, but obviously she couldn't, and left it outside 402. The door never opened when he passed. The hallway remained still. But every Sunday, like clockwork, the food appeared. And every Sunday after, Anish and Zoya ate to their heart's content, with a quiet kind of gratitude. Eventually, it became ritual. Sunday arrived with a special smell of Rajma Chawal. The food was always warm, it was always neatly packed, it was always enough for a man and a daughter who were trying to just keep it together. The notes began to change. They were no longer polite thank yous, but fragments of conversations between two strangers who had never met. Your Rajma reminds me of my grandmother's. It used to be my grandfather's favorite, 403. It was my wife's recipe. She said it could fix any mood, 402. Now little Zoya, being her cute little self, she insisted on adding her own notes. Small drawings of food, stick figures of a family with big smiles, the son wearing sunglasses. One week, she drew a picture of Mr. 402, though she had never seen him. Just a kind-looking man with a grey moustache and a big spoon in his hand. You look happy, she wrote underneath. Papa says food tastes better when people are nice. Ramesh kept this one on his fridge. In return, his notes began to tell stories. Radha used to hum while cooking. She always sang slightly off-key, but I never told her. She made ghia taste delicious. Delicious! I think it was witchcraft. I'm sure it was, but I never told her that either. On Sunday evening, Radha loved going for ice cream. It was something we always enjoyed doing together. You know, butterscotch was her favorite, so was mine. And slowly, Anish responded in kind. Zoya's mom left when she was 2. I had to learn to be a dad on the job ever since. We've moved 3 times in 4 years. I think this might be the first place that feels warm. Thank you for making our lives feel less like survival and more like home. And then, one Sunday, there was nothing. There was no note, there was no container, there was no smell. Khushboo nahi tha rajma ka, no steamed rice coming from across the door, nothing. Just nothing. Zoya stood in the hallway. She looked around and she whispered, Papa, maybe the food fairy's gone on vacation. Anish didn't answer, but something felt off. So later that evening, he knocked on 402. There was no answer. He waited and he knocked again, softer. But then just then, when he was about to walk away, the door opened a few inches. Mr. Ramesh Nair looked thin, pale and drawn. He was wrapped in a shawl. Sorry, he said, his voice sounded raspy. I've got fever. I didn't mean to worry you. Without thinking, Anish said, we brought soup. Zoya held up a thermos, as tall as her arm, and toast, the tasty kind. Mr. Nair looked at them for a long time. He was quiet. And then he opened the door and came out. Now the hallway was too narrow to get a real table. So they all sat on a low folding bench that Anish had brought out. Together they enjoyed soup and a companionable quiet. They didn't talk much that night. They just slurped soup, chewed quietly, and let the silence warm the air around them. When Zoya yawned and leaned against her father's shoulder, Mr. Nair said, Radha would have adored her. Anish smiled. She is good at winning people over, especially if food is involved. Mr. Nair chuckled. Then she's in the right place. The following Sunday, there was no container on the doormat. Instead, Anish knocked on 402. We thought we could eat together. Ramesh hesitated. He looked at them and then he smiled. Bring the plates. They set up again in the hallway. Zoya folded the napkins like a fancy restaurant. Ramesh brought out Radha's old stainless steel containers, utensils, bowls, katoris, chammach, everything. Anish had cooked. Well, kind of. He admitted to watching YouTube and still burning the onions. Doesn't matter, Ramesh said, taking a bite. You didn't burn the salt. That's a start. Zoya giggled. Oh, he used so much salt last time. It was such a disaster. Ramesh winked at her. Good chefs learn by messing up. And after that, Sunday belonged to them. They rotated kitchens. Some days, the food was perfect. Some days, the rice was too sticky. Once, Zoya dropped a small Lego piece in the rajma. Anish worried that they'll get plastic poisoning. Ramesh insisted that the rajma tasted better than usual. Zoya almost choked on it when she found it on her spoon after taking the last mouthful of rajma. The three ended up laughing uproariously at Zoya's look of surprise as she choked up the little piece. They shared more than food, photos, stories, old recipes scribbled on yellow notepads. Ramesh told Zoya bedtime tales about gods who lost their glasses and frogs that ran tea stalls. She drew him pictures of all of them, which he taped on his fridge like priceless artwork. On their first anniversary of their dinners, they all cooked together. All three of them crowded in Ramesh's kitchen. It was cramped, it was chaotic, it was crazy. Zoya broke a bowl. Anish oversalted the rajma. Ramesh forgot the jeera powder. Nothing went right. Everything tasted perfect. They sat down on the hallway floor, no table this time. Just sheets of newspaper spread out and messy smiles. A note was taped inside Ramesh's door. Zoya had written in her wobbly, determined handwriting, "We love you, food fairy." And underneath, Anish had added, "Thank you for opening your door. We're never closing ours again." I hope you liked the story. If you did, do add a comment. Please share it with your friends and family and let me know what you think. Why? Because it matters to me. Stay tuned for the next one. Till then, take care.